We are going to start the new chapter, that is organic chemistry. Some basic principles and techniques of organic chemistry. We know carbon is the first member of 14th group. The first member means we already studied in each group the first member is the smallest. So, carbon is smaller in size. Also we studied it having 4 electron in its outermost orbital. Since it having 4 electron, to complete its octet or to complete its valence shell, it wants to either lose or gain 4 electrons. Getting 4 electron or losing 4 electron is energetically not possible. Therefore, carbon shares its outermost electron and form 4 covalent bond. So, carbon form 4 covalent bond. This tendency is known as tetravalent nature of carbon. That means carbon is tetravalent in nature. Also we studied carbon having catenation tendency. What do you mean by catenation? So, catenation means bonding of atoms of same element in series. Carbon can form a chain of carbon chain to any extent. This tendency is called catenation tendency. Carbon having more catenation tendency as well as it having more tetravalent character. Because of these two factors, tetravalency and catenation, carbon form large number of covalent compounds. Study of these covalent compounds of carbon is known as organic chemistry. So, what is organic chemistry? Study of covalent compounds of carbon is known as organic chemistry. So, we studied carbon form large number of covalent compound due to its tetravalency as well as catenation tendency. Study of these covalent compounds are known as organic chemistry. Organic chemistry is of 200 years old. Development of organic chemistry is of about 200 years old. Around 1800, the scientists of those period, they start classify the elements into two, that is organic as well as inorganic. They start classify the materials available in those periods into organic and inorganic. But what is an organic substance? Those substances which we are getting from plants and animals. That means those materials which we are getting from living beings are called organic. Those substances which we are obtained from non-living beings or mineral source are called inorganic substances. So, materials of those periods were classified into organic and inorganic. For example, we are seeing lot of paintings in the old palaces. If you are visiting some old palaces, we can see lot of painting on the walls as well as the roof of the palace. By using which paint they draw all this painting? So, of course, you know all that paint they obtain from the extract of plants, extract of some leaves of some plants. That means the paints they obtained only from the leaves. Leaves means organs of plants. Since that substance were obtained from organs of living beings, they are called organic compounds. But in 1828, the John Jacob Berzelius, J.J. Berzelius proposed that organic compound can be synthesized only by plant and animals. For preparing this organic material, we need some mysterious force That mysterious force we are calling it as vital force. That is the force of life. The meaning of this is only plants and animals can having the vital force or the mysterious force, therefore they can only be prepare organic compounds. That theory was called vital force theory. That theory was called vital force theory. But in the year 1828, Friedrich Höhler accidentally prepared urea in the lab. When Berzelius said about vital force theory, scientists of those period they believe on vital force theory, therefore no one synthesized any of the organic compounds. But in 1828, Friedrich Höhler accidentally, why we are calling him accidentally means, actually he wants to prepare ammonium cyanate. Ammonium cyanate is a red color substance which can be prepared from ammonium sulfate and potassium cyanate. KCnO means potassium cyanate. When we are heating these two, we are getting ammonium cyanate. But fortunately or unfortunately, his heating become over. Due to overheating, the ammonium cyanate formed undergo rearrangement and he got a white color substance. So, he needs to prepare red color ammonium cyanate, but due to overheating, he got a white color powder. So, when he analyzed that white powder which he obtained, he can able to identify the white substance which he got having the property of urea, and finally he found out it was urea. Before that, urea they are having, that urea was obtained from urine of the mammals. They are extract the urea from urine of the mammals. But in the year 1828, Höhler synthesized urea in the lab. When he prepared urea in the lab, that will put a big stone on the head of vital force theory. After that, many scientists start synthesize or start prepare organic compound in the lab. Because of that, in the year 1828, Henel prepared ethyl alcohol. 1845, Hole prepared acetic acid in the lab. 1856, Berthollet prepared methane in the lab. Because of this, vital force theory comes to end. The compounds of carbon or the covalent compounds of carbon which they obtain in the olden days from organs of living beings are called organic compound. Later, when they analyze the compounds of carbon or the organic compound, they are the covalent compounds of carbon. Therefore, the study of covalent compounds of carbon is now also we call it as organic chemistry. Because of the old traditional name, today also we call it as organic compounds. The simplest organic compound are those which contain carbon and hydrogen alone, because carbon is the smallest, hydrogen is also the smallest and simplest. They easily form covalent bond between them. So, such compounds are called hydrocarbons. What are hydrocarbons? The compound which contain carbon and hydrogen alone is called hydrocarbon. All the other organic compound we are getting only from hydrocarbons. Therefore, all the other compounds are called derivatives of hydrocarbon. Electronic theory of valency and concept of hybridization explains about the structure and shape of organic molecule. In chapter 4, we studied about sp3 hybridization, sp2 hybridization, sp hybridization. All these hybridizations are involved in the bonding of organic compound also. So sp3 hybridization means that indicates single bond. sp2 means that indicate double bonded compounds. sp hybridization means that indicate triple bonded compounds. How many sigma and pi bonds are present in each of the following molecule? So one molecule is given CH triple bond, C single bond CH, double bond CH CH3. So we have to find out how many sigma and pi bonds are present in this molecule. For calculating the pi and sigma bond, we have to keep following points in our mind. That is, one, all the single bonds are sigma bond. We have to count the number of sigma single bond, and that is sigma bond. We have to count the double bond present in it. Each double bond consists of one sigma bond and one pi bond. All triple bond having one sigma bond and two pi bonds. All single bonds are sigma bond. Each double bond consists of one sigma bond and one pi bond. All triple bond consists of one sigma bond and two pi bonds. Now, so the given compound is, this is the given compound CH, triple bond C, single bond CH, double bond CH, CH3. This can be represented or written as CH, that means be C single bond H, then triple bond C single bond CH, double bond CH, CH3. Now just to count how many carbon sigma bond are present. So we know that carbon triple bond consists of one sigma bond. So here one carbon sigma bond is present. Here second carbon sigma bond is present. Double bond consists of one sigma and one pi. So here also one sigma bond, carbon sigma bond is present. Here also one. Totally 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 carbon sigma bonds are present. Now carbon hydrogen sigma bond 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now how many carbon 5 bonds are present? So carbon 5 bonds 1. Carbon triple bond, how many is present? So we know here only one triple bond is present, but that triple bond consists of 2 pi bonds. So 2 pi bonds are present. Like we can calculate the number of sigma bond and pi bond present in a molecule. What type of hybridization each carbon in the following compound is having? One compound is given, we have to find out the hybridization. CH3Cl. First you have to expand it, CH3Cl. All the bonds are single. If all the bonds are single, then the hybridization present is sp3. Here another one, next compound, CH3 twice CO. CH3 twice CO means this is the way CH3, these two are connected in CO. This is the meaning CH3 twice CO. That is CH3 which is connected in C double bond O. CO means C double bond O. Then CH3. So this carbon undergo sp3 hybridization because for this carbon all the bonds are single. So sp3. For this carbon one double bond is present. So sp2. Again this carbon is sp3. So this molecule consists of 2 sp3 hybridized carbon and 1 sp2 hybridized carbon. Next one, CH3CN. This can be expanded CH3CH3. CN means C triple bond N. So this carbon, all the bonds are single, therefore sp3. This bond, triple bond is present, so sp hybridization. Now next thing, CH2 double bond O. Here only one carbon is present, CH2 double bond O. So double bond comes, so sp2 hybridization. When sp2 hybridization comes, the molecule the molecule is having trigonal planar geometry. So based on the hybridization, we can predict the shape or geometry of the molecule. sp2 hybridization come, the molecule is trigonal planar geometry. Next one, CH3F. So here all the bonds are single, so sp3 hybridization. So sp3 hybridization comes, the molecule is tetrahedral in shape. At the same time, if sp hybridization come, the molecule is linear. So like we can calculate the number of sigma and pi bond present in a molecule, as well as hybridization we can calculate. From the hybridization we can predict the geometry of the organic molecules.